Hi, welcome to my masterclass, Move Up the Corporate Ladder. My name is Ashok Goyal, and I have more than 23 years of corporate experience. I'm an executive coach and author as well. So, this masterclass, I would speak about how project managers who are currently working as project managers or those who are aspiring to become one, how they can move up the corporate ladder faster, much faster than usual, in 90 days or less, and with a significant increase in their compensation after overcoming their current set of challenges, whatever they are going through. So pay attention and make notes. So once again, this webinar training is for you if you are someone who think that you deserve to achieve more. You are unhappy at your workplace for any reason. It could be related to your compensation or your manager or your team or your work content or anything else. This webinar is for you if you want to grow to your next level much faster, faster than usual, with a significant increase in the compensation. And gradually, you have deep aspirations to get into a salary bracket of more than a crore per year. Or you might be facing some other challenges, maybe personal, maybe professional, and you are unable to put your attention in your work and you are looking for a direction, right? I have mentioned here very clearly that my services, my coaching services are guaranteed. You are guaranteed to achieve the results or your complete money, your fees refunded. I know that it's a bold statement, but I'm very confident that the core strategies that I'm going to speak about, same core strategies have produced results for me and for my students. So let's just get into and understand what it is all about. Now, here is one important statement that I would like to make. I understand my time and your time both are precious. So I want to make sure this webinar creates a result for you. This webinar is not for you if you are quite happy in your workplace. You are quite contented with what you are doing and your work environment, your employer, your salary growth, and so on. Then you should just continue to do what you're doing. Okay, so let's move on. Now, I would like to say something about myself so that you understand where I come from. By qualification, I'm an engineer, an MBA, and I have more than 2 decades of work experience in some of the known organizations. I came from a middle class background, and I wanted to grow faster. I wanted to grow much more than what I was doing, and that was what my challenges were. I was growing at a 5%, 7%, 8% kind of growth per year, and I knew quite deep inside me that I can do much more. I was not happy with the work that I was doing as well, and that was impacting my health, my relationships, and so on. So after many years of work experience, I finally decided that I want to take this as a project. I want to change the things how they're going. And after a couple of years, what I found was absolutely transformational, right? And I found that there are many things that most people are not aware of. I learned some of the core principles. I applied in my own life, my own career, and then humongously, I benefited out of them, right? I realized that if our values and beliefs are aligned to our skills and our aspirations, you can grow much faster. I found that I am better suited for a consulting kind of work. So I finally decided to become a consultant trainer, and I created a 3-step career acceleration blueprint. Now, you don't have to become a consultant like me, right? The core strategies and the life skills that I've learned, which I'll speak about in a while. These strategies could be applied to anyone's career. Specifically, I want to work with project managers, and the primary reason being that I have worked in this role for many, many years myself. I have reported into project managers and I have reported by project managers. I have lived in this profession for almost 2 decades. I understand the entire work so well. So I want to focus my energies, focus my coaching efforts only on project managers, those who are working and those who are going to become one. So that's what I was speaking about. When I applied my learning on my profession, there was a big change in my career. I became a consultant and a trainer, and I did many, many consulting assignments very happily and made significantly more amount of money, right? And as I mentioned, I would like to repeat once again, your story could be different than mine, but then same principles are applicable to your career as well. And you could grow much, much faster than you would have imagined once you get to know what these principles are. I subsequently became an author as well, and I wrote this book, Move Up the Corporate Ladder. I have been since then working as an executive coach, helping corporate professionals, uh, you know, advancing in their career. So, what would you learn from this webinar? What you would learn would be a three-step formula. I would call them core strategies. And I have named this formula as career acceleration blueprint. That is what I would speak about. Now, be very realistic. You are not going to start 3 times more money from next month onwards. That is not practical. That is not going to happen, right? So be very realistic what you expect from this webinar. Surely you would, get to know many, many ways how you can advance your career much, much faster than what you have been going through so far. And you also would be able to overcome your current sets of challenges. So, I would cover in this webinar the three-step formula that I spoke about, that career acceleration blueprint. I would also speak about the new life skills, which I was not aware of. I did not learn those skills in any education or curriculum, and those skills are so important. I would also speak about some of the old beliefs that I was carrying and how those old beliefs were constricting or restricting my career, and how those old beliefs I converted to new beliefs, and how things got unfolded in front of me. I would also share some of the testimonials of my past students and how they benefited out of these core strategies. So, this career acceleration blueprint that I just spoke about, this is very, very simple three-step formula. First step includes understanding your career vision. What is that you want to achieve in your life, in your career? What do you expect from your work? What kind of role, what kind of organization, what is the salary range, and what location do you want to work? Unless we know what is that we want, we are not going to get what we want. This is so simple, but most people miss this out. Unless we have a vision of our career, we would not be reaching what we want, where we want to reach. So this is the first step. The second step is understanding where you are currently. What are your core strengths? What are your current skills? Where is your passion lying about, right? What are your weaknesses? What are your threats? What are your fears, right? When you understand your current status in great detail, this is where we spend a lot of time. We understand where you are and why you are. So this is step two. And then step three is consisting of how to get to your target state, target job. So we arrive at a step-by-step plan, right? From where you are to where you want to reach. What are the actions that you need to take, right? So we also create an accountability structure so that there is a clear understanding in how much time you would reach to your target state, target job, right? And all these step three combined would help you reach to your target job, which could be a different competition, maybe a different organization, maybe a different location, and so on. So this career acceleration blueprint would allow you to understand your complete track of your career and allow you to take complete control of your career. I would also speak about some of the most important life skills which no one teaches you, and you would not learn them in your graduation or post graduation. You would not learn them when you interact with your friends, family members, and so on. Right? I also learned these skills in a much harder way. The first of them is how our mind functions. Our mind is a very, very potent instrument that has been given to us, but rarely we learn how to utilize our mind, and most likely we end up misusing our mind. I would also speak about how do we handle negativity in our thinking process, in our attitude, in our behavior. And this negativity, unless you are really aware of, this will always keep you down. This will always surround you with negative thoughts. And with the negative thoughts, you are expecting the negative outcomes, but without you being aware of. You are trying your best to move forward, but your mind is surrounded with the negative thoughts, and you don't know how to get rid of those thoughts. So, in spite of your best efforts, you would never move forward. I would speak about how do we handle emotions. Our human energy is locked inside these emotions. How not to get upset, how not to get angry, how not to yell on people when you lose control. No one is teaching you, and you would not get to know unless you really experience these emotions. Handling emotions is extremely important for reaching to senior levels. Handling people who do not like you, handling criticism, handling unpleasant environments, right? So we would speak in detail about it and taking responsibility. Most of us, whenever we are burdened with the responsibility, we find a way to blame others, right? So, in that process, we would lose an opportunity to grow. So, these life skills are so important that without them, our entire effort of moving forward in our career will never result in, and we would continue to remain where we are in most scenarios, right? So, let's move forward further. Now, after learning all of these, I want to benefit at least 100,000 professionals. And I want to concentrate more on project managers because I came from that profession. And that is where I have, applied all of these skills, and tremendous results have been created for my students. Now, in the process of, creating a transformation for myself, I came to know that there are some core beliefs which I was carrying. These core beliefs are not really serving me, right? So there are some four beliefs that I have jotted down here. I would speak about each one of them. First one, hard work always pays, no matter what. We all have been hearing from our early childhood that we should be hardworking. If you think this principle is always right, then people who are working on the roadside, the laborers, they would have been the rich people, but that is not the case. We understand very well that this belief is not true in an absolute sense, right? This belief is true but it's a conditional statement. So it's a false sense of being busy if you're just working without a plan. You are not going to produce results. So this belief is not going to work unless you combine your hard work with a certain plan. And I call that a long-term vision that you have in your mind. If you have to reach certain stage in your career and then you keep doing the work in accordance with what is wanted to reach that level, then only this belief will make sense. Otherwise, without direction, without a plan, without a vision, if you just keep doing the hard work, it's not going to create any good result for you. Rather, you would get frustrated because you would notice that other people, your other colleagues, with much lesser effort, and they are creating much better results. The second belief that I want to speak about, I have been hearing from my early childhood that more knowledge you have, the better it is for you, right? This belief again is not true in all situations. You can collect any amount of knowledge, especially in today's context. Knowledge is downloadable. I have seen many people, they would collect certifications, they would undergo so many training programs, they would learn that skill, this skill, and so on. But it would not be of any use if it is in alignment with your long term goal. And you would not, get any benefit unless you apply this skill in your workplace. So, any amount of knowledge you can learn, but unless you learn how to apply this skill, apply this learning in your work for creating results, it is not going to benefit you in any way. So, just being busy and learning something is completely useless. In fact, you would get much, much more frustrated. Any knowledge, as I mentioned earlier, I would repeat, is downloadable in today's context. You can go to YouTube, you can go to Google and collect knowledge of on any field you can think of, right? That is not going to give you any benefit in the long run. So this belief, allowed me to focus my energies in a certain direction, and this belief allowed me to learn only what is really required and not dissipate my energy on other things. The third belief, which is also extremely important for most professionals, if I am performing well, if I am doing my projects properly, I would be noticed by the senior management and I would be suitably rewarded. This belief, I was carrying for a very long time till I started, uh, getting frustrated so much that I just couldn't hold. I concluded that something not right in this belief itself, right? Now, if that is the case, then everybody would have grown. Every good performer would have grown. And why this belief does not work always? So many reasons you could see around you, right? Everybody, everybody is trying to grow. And there are so many people who are trying to perform well, but only those people would be noticed by the senior management, by the decision makers around you who are perceived to be well. So creating the right perception is another skill. You have to take the responsibility for your perception and the performance both. Nobody in the organization thinks for you, even your manager. Your manager is also working for himself or herself, right? So if you think that if I'm really good, I will get eventually be noticed, it is just a cliche. It's not going to work all the time. So what is the new belief that I created? I'm responsible for my perception and performance both. And accordingly, I decided what is the visibility that I need to create? Who are the people I should be connected to? How do we make sure that I'm known in the right circles? And not only inside the organization, but also outside the organization, creating the right contacts in the industry. So this new belief uh, got me so many other benefits that I wouldn't have imagined earlier. One more belief that I want to speak about. For a very long time, I have been thinking that people from a modest family background or probably a middle class background cannot rise to the senior most levels in the leadership. The leadership positions are meant only for those people who are having exceptional skills, because I always believed that leaders are born. You can't learn to become a leader. And I found this belief is not going to be true. There are so many people I've noticed that who came from a very modest background, and many of them, in fact, are not very educated as well. Still, they are working as effectively as leaders, and they do not come from the best of the known institutions, IITs or IIMs or Harvards or Stanfords, right? So if I read a statement that if you look at 1,000 CXOs, top CXOs in the country, most of them are not from very well-known and reputed institutions, and that is where I found that this belief is completely untrue, right? And I figured out that it is not the institution that you come from. It is your right skill set, right mindset that you carry, which will allow you to reach to the senior most levels in your organization. Your right vision, your ability to handle yourself, your communication skills, all of these put together would allow you to behave in those leadership positions in the right prospects, right? So this new belief would can allow people to grow much, much faster than they can think of. So now I would like to speak about some of my past students who have applied this career acceleration blueprint, and they have benefited tremendously out of this, right? Let me just speak about this guy, Rajesh. This person is quite ambitious, and he was working at a middle level, right? And he was unable to, get along very well with his colleagues. Some of his colleagues were creating huge resistance in his growth. He was quite overstressed. He was not aligning well with his manager because of the office politics, and people were not cooperating. He was looking for a direction how to move forward. Should I leave my job and so on, right? And after undergoing the program, within 2 months, in fact less than 2 months, he found that a huge change within himself. His emotional energy has completely changed. He started getting along with his manager, getting along with his other colleagues. He became a lot more peaceful. His health conditions improved, and his other problem of overthinking and the relationship concerns also started improving. And then he started really thinking big about how to go to the next level and the next level of compensation, right? So this program is designed in such a way so that whatever your current challenges that you are facing, you would be able to get past these challenges and would be able to see your ways moving up. Let me speak about another guy. This person is Kishore, and he was also, you know, very, very unhappy with his work. He did not know what to do. In fact, he used to blame people around him, maybe his manager, his uh, family members, for where he is, right? Sometimes he wanted to run away. He was quite qualified, but he wanted to get study more. He wanted to go to US and study more, but His family conditions did not allow him to go abroad, right? Now, in that situation, where he was, when he was so frustrated, I cannot speak more. After going through the program, within 6 weeks, he started showing a lot of improvements. His thought processes started changing. His views about his career and the people around him started, getting transformed. He stopped blaming them. He started taking more responsibility for his career, and he started seeing his next level. Right. In fact, his manager congratulated him, and he has done some research in his workplace that was applauded by his colleagues, right? So, as I mentioned, this program would allow you to get rid of your current set of issues and really concentrate your energy and achieve your next level. This is another guy, Girish. Very similar story. He was struggling with his project issues in his organization and needed direction, right? And he did not know how to handle the current set of challenges and how to move forward. And after going through the our program, he started thinking for the next level and arrived at his complete target career description in terms of what should be the role, responsibility, the compensation, and so on. And ultimately, he landed up in that role, right? And the new skills that he learned that changed his complete outlook of life and career. He started taking a lot more responsibility and started showing a lot more emotional maturity that was very much required for him. This is another guy. His name is again Kishore, and he was also quite frustrated. He was working with Reliance and looking for a career direction. He did not know what to do. As a project manager, he was going through a lot of other challenges from his team, from his manager, and so on. And after going through the program again, he drafted his career vision and with a very clear direction where he wanted to move. And then finally he achieved where he wanted to reach. He landed in a great job and subsequently resolved all of the concerns, improved his health as well very significantly. And this is another example of a gentleman called Rahul, and he was very, very unhappy with his workplace and did not know what to do. Uh, he was, trying hard to move forward, but somehow not working well for him. This person also improved his relationship skills, social skills, and landed in the next role very easily, right? So these are some of the examples that you would have noticed and how they have benefited. Now, all of these participants, I wanted to mention that they have used the same core strategies, same learning that I have spoken about, and they created a very fulfilling and rewarding career for themselves, right? And the same strategies would work for anyone, just anyone. So the pattern is very simple. Just follow and implement in your career and your life, and you would get the results. So after knowing all of these, you have these three options. First option, do nothing. Just continue as usual. If you are frustrated or unhappy, just find some other way. Keep trying by going through some videos or keep taking chances and continue as usual. Option two, apply some of the skills that you have learned in this video, right? Yeah, and do on your own. Now, this again, in most cases, will not work. As I mentioned earlier, most people need a guide or a mentor to help you move forward, right? And that is what the option three is. Option three is learn the proven system with someone who has already done it and helped many other people achieve the same results. And this option three is what we are going to speak about. In this option three, what you would learn is the career acceleration blueprint, which is consisting of the three-step formula. Step one is creating the career vision, understanding where is that you want to reach. The step two, where you are currently, understanding your strengths, your challenges. And then step three, how you can get to your target level, step by step plan, right? And all of this you could achieve in less than 90 days. This program would allow you to reach from where you are to where you want to go, right? So, as I mentioned earlier, most people cannot resolve their challenges on their own. They would need a mentor or a guide who is capable, who has helped others in the past, and who can genuinely think for you with an accountability and whose success depends on your success, right? Uh, you just do not need the knowledge, you need the complete framework. And the coach would have the complete framework, right? So, in spite of whatever odds you are going through, in spite of whatever unpleasant situation you are going through, you would be able to grow and create results for yourself. So, I would like to repeat here what kind of clients I am willing to serve. I'm not willing for anyone. I'm only willing to work for those people who are dedicated and who are committed to grow themselves, who are open to discuss their current challenges, whatever situation they are going through. It could be in their professional life or in their personal life, who are willing to, strongly willing to take their career to the next level. They are 100% committed and they want to grow despite all kinds of odds. They have a deep belief and they have a deep aspiration to grow themselves. So, what are you waiting for? I have kept aside some time for discussing in detail, and I can do a discovery call if you are interested. I want you to go ahead and book the call, right? And at the call, come really prepared. If you come prepared in the call, you would have much better expectations of your career, much realistic understanding, and you would get to know certain strategies that would really help you to take your career to the next level, right? So, so that's about it, and I would see you in the call. Thank you.